You may have deleted the tweet, but I remember what you said. You said you were going to do something. So what are you going to do? What is up, you guys? This is Kevin Ortega-Rojas. I am a podcaster, content creator, and host. I have a show here on YouTube called Here's Why with Kevin Ortega-Rojas, which comes back this Sunday. And I also co-host a podcast called By Latin Men, the podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram. There I post social, political, and pop culture commentary. That is enough of an intro, though. Today, we're here to talk about Kalen Allen, a beloved comedian, actor, influencer, TV personality, etc., 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 and all that's been going on with him. So for those of you who do not know, Kalen Allen was caught in controversy last month when he shared a video with longtime brand partner Starbucks. Alright, so for those of you who do not know, for the past few months, Starbucks has been one of many targets in a boycott for the company's unclear position on Israel's bombardment on Gaza. Starbucks, being a billion-dollar business, fucked up when they sued one of their unions who posted a pro-Palestine tweet. The union, which represents Starbucks workers, tweeted solidarity with Palestine. Starbucks then sued them for copyright infringement, and this led people to believe that the company had an anti-Palestine stance, and they demanded that people boycott Starbucks. Since the start of the boycott, Starbucks has lost tens of billions of dollars in stock value, and they've also been doing the most aggressive promotion that they've done in recent years in order to win back public favor and hopefully bring back customers into their stores. Some of that promotion included using Kalen Allen, a black queer man, in order to promote their brand. So now, before I get too far into this video, I want to be clear that I am not holding anyone accountable to boycotting Starbucks or any other business. I don't spend money at Starbucks. I won't be spending my money there, but I am not of the school that wants to force people to boycott a particular business. That's just not what I spend my time doing. Do I think that Starbucks is stupid? Yeah, absolutely. They should be taking a very clear stance on this issue, being a multi-billion-dollar corporation that doesn't shy away from politics. I mean, they have publicly supported Pride Month, so I don't see why this is so hard for them. Another example of a company that is a good corporate citizen is Ben & Jerry's, who months ago, as always, came out with a very strict stance on this issue, and they have not seen the kind of backlash that Starbucks, I think, is afraid that they're gonna see by taking a stance. Anyway, so Kalen has been partnering with Starbucks before October 7th and long before the calls for a boycott. I think that that is an important distinction to make. So last month in April, Kalen shared yet another one of his Starbucks collaborations, and for the past few months, his comment section was bubbling with people who were asking when he was gonna stop working with them. I don't know what it was in particular that made people get so upset about this promotional video, but people really let Kalen have it.
Baby, I'm partnering with Starbucks.
Baby, you might want to delete this. Baby, you about to lose hella support. I got the over and under on the fact that he about to lose 100,000 followers in the next week. You were better off partnering with a mom and pop shop. Cause Starbucks?
I love me some spicy heat with sweet. Some like it hot, and I'm one of them. You better run, honey, because the spicy strawberry is only available for a limited time at Starbucks.
So I posted that on Twitter last night, and though I'm not surprised by that video at all, this video is actually geared towards my community, specifically the pretentious gays that argue top versus bottom every day. Your arguments are late as fuck. Stale. I'm so tired of the fake outrage. You posted this video on an app owned by a bigot. Everything is owned by a bigot! Everything! It's ingrained in everything. That's the issue.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. Because you partnered with that woman years back, and I said, okay, I mean, I guess. And I'm not silly enough to think that public figures, celebrities, celebrity adjacent people, I'm not silly enough to think that they don't know what's going on. That they don't know that we are actively protesting Starbucks, and why we are actively protesting Starbucks. And it makes me even sadder when I see black folks doing this. It makes me sadder when I see black folks working against the cause.
Kalen Allen was dragged all up and down social media, on Twitter, on Threads, on Instagram, on TikTok, that Kalen had to address the issue head on. Sort of. Kalen came out with an apology of sorts, and I would read you that apology, but unfortunately it has been deleted. So I can really only summarize it for you. So what I would say is picture any, notes app text apology that a celebrity or influencer would publish, and that's basically the gist of it. Kalen came out with a long apology tweet saying that he is sorry that he's upset his audience, that he wants to do better, that he needs to learn, he wants to do the work, figure out how he can be of service, of value, and then he'll come back. And then he took a long hiatus from social media. Okay, so before I give my analysis on Kalen's response/apology and his subsequent return to social media, I want to make a couple of things clear. Yes, I know that Black and brown public figures are held to a certain standard that their white counterparts are not. Yes, I know that that is unfair. I'm aware that this feels unfair, and it can seem like marginalized groups are being further discriminated against by being forced to speak out on certain issues. So I get that. I absolutely understand why people say, why are we targeting Kalen? I get it. I'm also aware that Kalen is being held to a different standard than his peers, than other Black queer influencers who are on social media and have not been forced to speak out about the issue. I understand that, and I think that it is a layered issue. Someone on Twitter made the assertion that because Kalen does not fit the typical standards of beauty, specifically for queer men of color, that he is seen as disposable by people online. I get what this person is saying, but I actually think that Kalen got backlash for two reasons. One, he's seen as a positive representation for Black queer people in media, and people are disappointed by him, specifically because he is seen and has such a large reach. He has power that his peers in the influencer sphere do not. He is able to reach people in Middle America. White women in Middle America love Kalen Allen because they saw him on the Ellen DeGeneres show. People around the world love Kalen Allen. And so he has a significant amount of influence and power that his peers do not. Imagine if a Black queer man came out in solidarity with Palestine and forced Starbucks to take a clear stand, come out and call for a ceasefire. A huge multi-billion-dollar global corporation would come out in support of this issue if they, and I believe that they would. I believe that if Kalen Allen came out in support of Palestine and called on Starbucks to do the same, I believe that we would see a significant change in their tone, and then tons of companies would follow suit. But that's just my thought. Anyway, so Kalen disappeared from social media. He deleted his profile pictures, and I was like, damn, like they really ran him off. But he said that he was going to do the work. He said that he was going to go off and learn and figure out how he can be of service. So even though I was kind of disappointed that he was ran off of social media, I had held out hope that he would come back with knowledge on the issue or a more clear stance, that he would come back with a message to share for his audience. And I was severely disappointed. I trusted that someone with Kalen's access and resources would actually be doing the thing that they said that they were going to do. Unfortunately, that was not the case. This week, Kalen teased his return to social media with a high-budget teaser video on his Instagram story, which was odd. And then he posted portraits of himself alongside paragraphs about him and his journey and how he wants to move forward. And today, he tried to sell his audience a cruise. He posted a partnership with Virgin Voyages. Okay, so this was bad. This was such a bad move. I cannot emphasize enough how irritated I was when I saw this on Instagram. What was the point of that lengthy apology tweet if you were just going to come back and give us this? Like, just come back, business as usual. I'm Kalen. I am here to, like, you came back to talk about your brand. You got called out for remaining silent on a huge global issue while you have a following of millions. And the day that you chose to post this, I think, was the thing that irritated me the most. Kalen, you were called out over not speaking out about the genocide taking place in Palestine, not speaking out about the more than 40,000 deaths, not speaking out about the millions of displaced people living in tents, not speaking out about the children who are starving to death, mothers giving birth without anesthesia or access to medical care, disabled people with no mobility or access to health care, hospitals being blown up. You chose not to speak out about any of this. And so you disappeared, and then you came back to social media to show us these shiny portraits of yourself hours after we had just witnessed one of the deadliest massacres that took place in Gaza in the last 6 months. When I was scrolling on my newsfeed, your pictures came up right after I had just seen a video of a father holding the body of his child, missing limbs and his head. And then you posted videos of yourself on vacation. So not only did you not come back and show us the work that you said you were going to do, or show us the resources, or show us how you were going to be of service, but you came back to let us know that while you were gone, you were on a cruise, singing karaoke and taking pictures and wearing nice outfits. So nothing changed. You were just letting this die down. And what makes this worse is that for the last year, Kalen has been talking nonstop about studying journalism, about attending NYU's journalism program, and his passion for media, his passion for journalism, and where he wants his career to go. This genocide and the violence that is taking place in Gaza has taken the lives of dozens of journalists. How many journalists? As of May 28th, 2024, the Committee to Protect Journalists' preliminary investigations showed that at least 107 journalists and media workers were among the more than 37,000 killed in Gaza. Listen, I respect Kalen. I respect Kalen as a Black person, as a queer person, as someone in the community, someone who has built something up for themselves. I understand that Kalen has bills to pay. I understand that he has a lifestyle to maintain. He just bought a condo. I know that mortgage is expensive. I know he has things to lose. If Kalen had ignored all of the criticism, all of the comments, all of the stitches about his Starbucks post, and if he had just owned that shit and made his money in silence, I could have given him a modicum of respect. But to entertain, to engage the criticism and come online and make these promises about doing the work and learning and doing better, and this being the first thing that you post, these photos of yourself, giving us this self-indulgent persona yet again, that is a slap in the face to anyone who thought that you could use your power and influence responsibly. How much did these pictures cost? How much did this rebrand and these effects and these videos cost you? Because it cost $500 for a family to live in a tent in Gaza right now. Did you donate? Did you share a resource online for your millions of followers to go ahead and donate? Kalen, do you understand that if you got a fraction of a percent of your followers to donate $5 each to a relief fund aid, that a family would be taken care of? That is the disappointment. The disappointment is in the fact that you have power and influence that could do real good and you're choosing not to. And I would not be this upset had you not promised to do otherwise. I want to make it clear, this is not about canceling Kalen or getting Kalen to face more backlash. That is not what this is. Anyone who has not said anything about Gaza or Palestine or called for a ceasefire since October 7th, you should have done it then, but now is also a good time to do it. Join the movement now. Say something now. That is the best thing that you could do. I'm not here to cancel Kalen. I'm not here to say that Kalen should not be given opportunities, that he should not be given support. I think in order to make change and for people to start listening, we have to climb up the ladder of celebrity and influencers, and Kalen is just more accessible than a Beyonce. So it is worth more to call Kalen in and say, you should do something. You should say something. I have met Kalen before. Kalen has been on my podcast. I have access to Kalen, right? Like, we followed each other. I could have reached out to him via DM or email or text, but instead of sending him a message via DM that could be seen as, crossing a boundary of our very surface level relationship, or posting a text only, post on Threads or Instagram or something that has no tone to it, I'd rather do it this way. I'd rather have this conversation in this medium, because I want people to understand that this isn't about anger. This isn't about canceling anyone. This is about saying, what are you going to do? I would not be asking this question if Kalen didn't say he was going to do something. But you said you were going to do something. You may have deleted the tweet, but you left an impression. You may have deleted the tweet, but I remember what you said. You said you were going to do something. So what are you going to do? What are you going to say? This situation, everything feels very compounded. Everything feels very sensitive right now. And hopefully we'll be in a better place soon. But history will remember this moment. History will remember all of us. We don't have to be influencers. We don't have to be famous or popular or celebrities in order to know that people will talk about how we reacted in this moment. Your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, future generations will talk about how you responded and reacted in this moment. So if you have not said or done anything, now is the time. Anyway, that is all the time I have for this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is it worth asking influencers like Kalen Allen to step up and do something? Or should we just move on? Let me know your thoughts. I will see you next time. Take care. Love you. Bye.